Waiting on test results to see if a patient with Ebola-like symptoms has the disease. CBS 2's Don Champion live at Mount Sinai Hospital on the Upper East Side for us this afternoon. Don?
And Chris, that patient is still in isolation this noon under close watch as doctors wait to get his test results back. The hospital is in constant contact with the Centers for Disease Control.
Unlikely because it's a rare disease.
New York doctors trying to calm fears a day after a man showed up to Mount Sinai Hospital with Ebola-like symptoms.
This is the time for maximum on guard, because the more you invest in something early, the less trouble you have.
Dr. John Jacoby is a primary care physician at the hospital. While he's not among those treating the patient directly, he assures everyone that the hospital is taking every precaution necessary with good reason.
One case leads to 2, leads to 4, leads to 8.
The patient showed up to the ER early Monday with a high fever and severe stomach problems, symptoms of the deadly virus. After he told doctors he had recently traveled to West Africa where the virus is spreading, the patient was put in isolation within minutes while tests were sent to the CDC to confirm if he indeed has Ebola.
Odds are this is not Ebola. It's much more likely that it's a much more common condition.
Even before the patient showed up to the hospital, Mount Sinai and other local hospitals started preparing for this type of scenario days ago. The virus is not spread through casual contact, but New Yorkers we spoke to admitted the unknowns are what worry them about this scare.
The pathogens that were isolated in one part of the world have a greater access to say this part of the world.
The case, the man from Africa, and a lot of people travel to New York, of course, it's a melting pot. It's very possible, absolutely, and on the other hand, it could not be, but better safe than sorry.
Now, as the Ebola outbreak worsens in West Africa, we do know that some passengers headed here from overseas are being screened for things like fever at airports. Meantime, when it comes to the patient here at Mount Sinai, we do know that those test results should be coming back sometime today or tomorrow at the latest. We are live on the Upper East Side this noon. Don Champion, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Don, thanks. More information now on Ebola. According to the Centers for Disease Control, it was first identified in the Congo back in 1976. Right now, there is no cure. The experimental vaccines have worked on animals, but it's unknown whether they'll work on humans. Stay with CBS 2 and CBSNewYork.com for continuing coverage of the Ebola outbreak. We'll bring you the results of the tests on the local man being evaluated currently in the treatment of the 2 Americans with the virus in Atlanta.